Hi, everybody. Welcome to My Other's Keeper. I have a brand new guest here. His name is Jack from Big Jack Storytime. I've watched several of his videos, and he's got a variety of genres that he goes with.
Yes.
Iron sharpening iron. If you don't know what that means, we'll talk about what that means. Hey, Chu, nice to see you. Oh, and Daniel's here. Nice to see you guys. Okay. So tell us a little bit about who you are, Jack, and then we'll get a little bit deeper into the rest of it.
All right. Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you for allowing me to be on your show.
Oh, thanks for
Big
coming.
Jack Storytime. I'm the host of the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. We do have several spin-offs from that show. I'm out of the state of Maryland, so I'm out of the state of Maryland. I was pretty much born and raised in Maryland. I've lived some time in West Virginia and some other places. I'm a veteran of the U.S. Army, so I have some veteran status. I have a lot of different jobs on my resume. And so I've had a lot of different jobs. So that's where the name Storytime came from. Because I have a story
Mm.
about all my times in different things in different places. So I mean, I can, if you said that you did it, I could probably look back and say, yeah, I did that too. So that's where Storytime came from. But I'm definitely a husband, a father, a son, and an uncle, and all of those things that that matters to me, and
Yeah.
family is huge, for me. And the big part is we're about the brand itself. So we're about
Mm.
we're stronger together,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I'm promoting with my YouTube channel and my
Same.
community is just being strong together, and that if each one would just reach one, we can all grow and glow. So that's what we're pushing, and that's what I'm trying to push. So that's pretty much who I am in a nutshell, right there.
Well,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, and you and I have very similar ways of attacking things.
Mm,
We're just like our points of view. A lot of them are very similar.
mm.
Mm, sorry, my internet decided to be a butt.
Right,
Um,
right.
blacked out there for a moment. But we do tend to approach things in a similar way. And
Mm,
like yourself, our community here is very much we take care of each other. This is
mm.
why we're here.
Right.
We've had some people on here who've had some scary things happen to them, and some who've had nothing but joyful things happen to them. And as well, then we also talk about the Bible and all of that other kind
Mm.
of stuff and devotionals. And so let's do the intro song, and we will get into getting to know you a little better.
Sounds good. All
All
right.
right.
I'm my brother's keeper. I'm my sister's guide. Standing here together with nothing left to hide. We lift each other up when the world feels torn apart. We're keepers of the flame. We're the healers of the heart.
All right. So that is a general introduction of who I am as well.
Okay.
We're each other's keeper. We take care of each other, and we're here to love and
Mm,
laugh. We are here to Here we go. We may not always agree, but
mm.
we can always learn to understand and laugh.
Right.
Because frankly, politically, religiously, all of these other Lee things,
Right.
it there can be a lot of differences. So
Correct. Yeah.
yeah,
Without a
I'm
doubt.
okay
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. That's one of the things, even with my show, is that the two rules I have. I said we and on the show. So if you were a guest
Hmm.
on my show, I say I do not talk politics and I do
Yep.
not talk religion. And what I'm
Yep.
saying is, I will say that if you say the Lord blessed you and by your faith, that's one thing. But to say
Hmm.
this one denomination is better than another,
Right.
and or this one party is better than this party, I don't talk that. We don't even go there because then like I say, we can go back and forth and we don't get anything accomplished. So here,
Exactly.
we can actually have a good conversation outside of those realms and say, okay, we're human beings and we're here. We
Yep.
got, we got real issues, we got real rewards, we got real victories, and let's
Mhm.
talk about them things, and so
Yep.
that's what I'm about. So, yeah,
Oh, that's exactly
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes, and I like your men versus women
The
conversations as
battle
well.
of the sexes.
The
Yeah,
battle of the
the
sexes.
battle of the sexes. Yeah, that's the last Wednesday of every month. We have the battle of the sexes. So,
There you go.
so
Yep.
those are spinoffs from the Iron Sharpening Iron show,
Okay.
because it's iron sharpening iron to me, and I seen that was in the title. What does it mean? It's just the
Mhm.
fact that I can get something from you, and you can get something
Mhm.
from me. Together, we're going to make each other stronger. We're going to make each other sharper. So it's not about if it's a man or if it's a woman or whatever, because everyone brings something to the table, and
Yep.
because everyone's bringing something to the table, I should walk off or walk away from the table better than when I came into. So every show, no matter who the guest is, I feel that much better and stronger based because of that uh, relationship I just built with that guest that was on the show. So yeah,
That's perfect. Exactly. The iron sharpening iron, when you have a sword or a really sharp knife, you have an iron that you
yeah, yeah,
hone it
yeah,
with, right?
yeah,
And that's where the phrase comes from, is being able to take each other, rub off a few burrs and
hmm,
all that kind of stuff, but at the
right,
same time, while your knife is sharpening on this piece of iron, part of the knife is coming off as well,
correct,
right?
yeah,
So it's very much a two-way street.
yeah.
That's I like that. I
Well, then it
really
goes
like that.
back. It goes back to is the even with that is being equally yoked too. So I
Mhm.
know a lot of times we think about that in a relationship, but in
Mhm.
the iron sharpening iron, you want someone that's just as strong or sharp as you, so that you
Mhm.
can get something off of it. If you took
Yeah,
a piece of iron and went against a piece of wood, it's just they're not equally yoked to each other, so they're not going to give you what you're looking for. So you
that's
need a
right.
piece of iron. You need something that's going to be just as strong in the friction that you need. So it's not like you said, we're not going to always agree. I don't want
No.
to always agree. I need you to sharpen me. I need you to make me a little bit stronger. Right,
Back.
right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I need some of that. So and that's what the healthy relationship comes from, because we're not just agreeing on everything. And because of that, I'll learn, because you're telling me, if I tell you the sky is blue and you're telling me no, it's red, and then we're looking at it together, we're going to come up with a color. And it might be saying it's purple. It might say it's green, but together we came to an agreement because we wasn't agreeing on it's blue or red. But if
Mhm.
we actually sat down and talked about it, eventually we might find out that, oh, okay, well, it wasn't either one, it was purple. And like, oh,
That's
okay,
right.
well, that makes sense to me. So okay, because I'm colorblind, so I
Oh,
always
are
say that.
you?
Yeah. So and people are like, well, can you know red? Do you know green? I say yes, because I was in kindergarten and they taught me
Yeah.
my colors. So
Yeah.
it wasn't the fact that I can't see it, but they told me that's red and that's green. No different. They told the person next to me that's red, that's green. So we're taught those things.
Yeah.
So that right there. So even now, if I took the eye test and I went to the eye doctor, yeah, it's going to say you can't see colors. I can't see them when you mix them together and you blend them up. I can't see them,
Right.
but
Right.
I know that's red. I know that's green. I know that's black. I know that's white. So, and because I was in kindergarten and they taught me those things. So we're taught a lot of stuff that if we just, but sometimes you're taught good and sometimes you're taught not so
Mhm.
good. So, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm colorblind and I'm still colorblind. Yeah, 100%. So, yeah.
Yeah, my brothers are colorblind, all 3 of
Mm,
them.
yeah.
So, yeah,
And
that's
yeah. So I'm
it
red
happens
green.
apparently
So
more with men than women.
more with men than women, yes. But the
Yeah,
thing, yeah, and the thing that bothers you, I don't say bothers you, but people are amazed when you say them because they're like, well, how can you drive a car? And all like, what? The light is red and it's green. The
that's
stop
right.
sign is red and it's a certain shape. All these things are there for a reason. And it's not about just my
Exactly.
disability. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, that is the exact reason why there's always red, yellow, green.
Mhm.
Always, no matter if it's sideways, up and
Up and
down, or
down.
whatever,
Right.
doesn't
Correct.
matter what country you're in,
Right.
it is always the same.
Yeah.
And that is because of people who are colorblind, people who don't have the same association with color that I might have.
Mhm.
Just they know that this side is stop, this side is go, somewhere in the middle is hurry up.
Yeah, correct. Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and so and that right there is how you can do it, and it's it doesn't take away the fact that it's real.
that's right.
The only thing they told me I couldn't do was become bomb tech in the military because you can't tell the red wire from the green wire. Like, go ahead,
That's right.
and I'm okay
Or
with that.
a
I'm okay
fighter
with that.
a fighter pilot as well,
Right,
from
right,
what I
yeah, yeah,
understand.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because I mean, a lot of those jobs where you have to decipher on the spot what's it's red, it's green, it's
and it
this and
has
that.
to be
Yeah,
instant.
it has to be instant. So,
Yeah.
but yes, 100%. I can tell some colors, but at the same time, when you blend them together on that little eye chart, I can't see the number behind all of those dots. So,
Yeah. Well,
okay,
and
yeah.
I actually have excellent color vision.
Mm,
There's a specific test. You have 100 colors and you have to put them in order from
right.
gradient from, say, green to pink.
Mm,
And there's all the colors in between. And you have to put them all in order.
mm,
And I can actually do that
right. Right.
100%. So
Right.
that's unusual. And then, of course, there's B here, whose husband isn't allowed to pick colors for anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Boss
saw a
B.
sign
Hello,
in a,
Boss B.
that's right. I saw a sign in a paint store saying all husbands must have a note from their wives saying they're allowed to pick the colors.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Hey, I'm telling you this. It looked like it went when I picked it up. That's all it matters. What's wrong? How you gonna tell me blue and green don't go together? They do go together, but
they do.
yeah,
Like,
well,
I would say, look at my wall, but it wouldn't matter to you.
yeah.
So,
No, I can see that. Really, I can see it. That's the
oh,
thing.
good.
I can see because it's
Perfect.
now the shades. Some of the shades I wouldn't be able to see, but I
Hmm.
can see that there's the green and this. Like I
Yeah.
say, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's again the eye chart, the test that they do, and
They're
that
all
they
mixed
have all the
together.
little dots together, and it's a number in there, and you got to tell me what number. The first
Yeah.
one I can get right away. Boom, it's 32. Then the next one I'll be like, stop playing, ain't nothing in there. So yeah, yeah,
It's an
so
elephant. Leave me
yeah,
alone.
yeah, that's right. There it is. Yeah, so but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and then
good.
yeah, but
Well,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
that's okay. I was going to say we all have our disabilities, right? And
Oh yeah.
there's colorblind, there is the other thing I like to say is people when they're talking about humans like to say, "Oh, I'm colorblind. It doesn't matter what color you are. I think everybody's the same."
Hmm.
I don't believe that at all.
Right.
Not even a little. I like color. I like differences. And I
Hmm.
think that's what makes each one of us special and
Right.
unique. And I love different cultures and I want them all to play well together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's so I'm not color blind, I'm color celebratory, I guess is how
Yeah.
I would put it.
Well, that's a good way, I guess, of looking at it. I was putting together a training for where I work at,
Mhm,
and one of the things I was saying this time of year
mhm,
because of fall and
mm,
how the tree, those
mhm.
same leaves has been sitting on that tree, and they at one time was all the same shade, and all of a sudden now they start changing all these different. So it's like we see all the differences when the fall comes, and we can see that. Wait a minute, where does that come from? How did you yellow and red and this and that? So it's like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's like we have so many other things we bring to the table, and
Yep.
it don't have to be your skin tone. So, and that's again, the show is all about the Iron Sharpening Iron show. We have different guests from all different walks of life. I've had everybody on. I think we just crossed around the 60, maybe 60 plus episodes. And
Wow. Way
because
to
of that,
go.
it's just the fact that it's amazing when you're sitting there talking to people because it's like,
Mhm.
wow, that's very interesting. And the things I've learned. I mean, I just learned about a meat cow 2 weeks, a week last week. I didn't know it was a such thing. So,
A
some cows,
me cow?
meat cows.
Oh,
So,
oh, okay.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Some cows you use for milking, and some cows
Yes.
you just. And I didn't know because I'm from the
Oh,
city. I'm from the city,
right.
so they all thought they all were. Your cow is a cow, but it's not. So it's like, so these things that you learn, and you learn because you're talking to different people, bringing different perspectives and different things to you. And I'm like, okay, so I'm that much better now than I was just last week, and that even with that little simple bit of knowledge, I'm good. So yeah.
Well, okay. Now here's another little bit of trivia. When you
Mhm.
eat pork, more times than not, you're eating a female pig because the male pigs are very strong flavored.
Hmm, didn't know.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
come
yeah.
I come from a farming background. Like I'm not a
Okay,
farmer. I've always
gotcha.
lived in town,
Right.
but I tend to live in farming communities.
Gotcha.
So I've been able to learn a lot of
Right.
that kind of stuff. So,
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you want a more of a tender, not so much, the
mhm,
the toughness of meat you want. So that's no different than I guess a
precisely.
bull over here, right? So yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
argue with you. You know, they don't put it on the package. The only time that any food I eat that might say male or female is crabs. I'm in Maryland. It's the crab state. So, and
Oh, okay,
a
so tell me
female
about
crab.
that. I don't
Well,
know
there's
anything about that.
a female crab and a male crab. So most people, the males are bigger, more meat inside, and the female's the only one that will lay eggs. So that mustard you see inside and things like that, that if you see in a female crab. So a lot
Ah,
of people like the female because they like that little extra mustard thing in inside. But the male crab is the bigger crab, more meat. So yeah,
interesting.
so then when you go up to buy a bushel of crabs or a dozen of crabs, you might like I want a dozen female, which are a whole lot less than a dozen of male because males are bigger and you're going to get more meat, so you're going to pay more. So that's the only time I've been anywhere where they say male or female. So that's
Okay,
it. Yeah,
okay. Interesting.
yeah.
Hmm.
So but Maryland's the crab state, so that's
It
believe it or
is.
not, yeah, yeah.
It is, yes.
Except in the winter time. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I've heard that I guess it depends on the area you're at. I lived in New Brunswick for a little bit, um, about 26 something years ago, and, from what I've heard there, the lobster season is the burr months, like
Mm,
September, October,
right, right.
so it's the burr that you have to
Gotcha.
look for to see for that particular season of seafood.
Mm,
So, yeah,
yeah,
means they're not
yeah.
in mating season at that time, which, for sustenance, that's an important part.
Oh yeah, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
that's okay.
Yeah, I apologize.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
so
worry about it.
it's a little different when you're on this side. So it's like, when you're hosting the show and you got all the bells and whistles behind in your control, it's a little different. So like, where did that come from? Like, I gotta find it. But yeah,
Yes,
but no, it's So again, I thank you for allowing me to be here, and it's I believe we were on the show, we were on a panel together.
we
Was that
were.
around
Easter,
Easter? Yeah, Easter.
yeah,
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
Echo.
so Echo, yeah. So, but we really didn't. The way the panel was, we didn't really get to cross,
Exactly, we didn't
discuss
get to
with each.
know each
Right,
other.
right, right. Yeah, but I
Yes.
mean, it's when you have a show and you're putting it on, it does. It can be challenging, especially when you're producing and you're running it. So, you
Mhm,
try as the guest, I do, you try to follow the host lead, because that's their
mhm.
show. You don't know what their platform is. You don't know what they're trying to get across. And you might understand a little bit of all the work that goes into it, but they put a lot of work in their mind and in my mind, it's like it's gonna work just like this
Yep.
until something goes wrong, and it's like, oh
It's
god.
like,
So
"Whoops."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I'm it's I'm a basic person. I enjoy what I do, and I'm doing it as a hobby. It's not like I'm trying
Same.
to. It's not my job. It's not I'm not making a career out of it. But I want to produce a real product. I want it to be real. I want the people
Yep.
who do take the time to sit there and watch it to get something out of the show. And it's not,
Something quality,
yes, right. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
That's a big thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
you should have substance when you walk away from here. It's no different.
absolutely.
I used to be a pastor, so
Okay.
if I was to minister the word, it wasn't just to get up there and say, "All right, I said two verses and we can walk out the door."
Oh,
You
I
should
hate
get
that. Yep.
something. You should get something when you walk out. You should have something. You should be able to take something home with you, and
Yep.
that's no different than what we try to do with the show. So
Yes.
every guest we getting and every question that I ask and all the things that we do is that they get that the guest should get the wow factor, like wow, that was pretty
Mhm,
cool,
mhm.
and should feel comfortable while they're on the stage, while they're in there with you and talking. So we don't throw a lot of stuff at them to try to get them on the edge of the seat so I can get more views and more likes and this and that. But
Oh, exactly,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah. So
shock value, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
not into that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a lot of work, and I know you know, but and if YouTube and Google's going to pay me, I'm going to cash that check. And we're working hard. You know, I seen you put Boss B up there, and that's my technical advisor. She promotes it.
Ah,
So Boss B TV is now producing the Iron Sharpening Iron show. So
nice.
that's my
Hello, Boss
producer
B.
back
Nice to
there.
meet
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that was my producer right there supporting. So I appreciate her.
Oh, awesome.
And they keep me grounded because I can, because you want it to be perfect. You want everything and like
Yeah.
you're right there. It's good. Don't worry about it. But I find myself worrying a lot when I'm on the other side of the stage. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so what has been keeping you busy lately? For example, I've been researching until the beginning of June. I was really, really busy with this whole YouTube thing. I got myself so busy that I burnt myself out
Mm,
because I was doing 2 shows a week plus a devotional every day
mm,
for, all of these different things. And it's like, it's a little much.
right.
So now I've shrunk down to one a week and that's it, which isn't enough for me. So I've been
Yeah.
doing some research. Um, like, for example, I downloaded this book
Okay.
and I'm going to be going through it, because people wonder, okay, if God is good, why is there so much yuck in the world? You know? And I don't remember where, but I heard it somewhere that, yeah, if God is good, why is there so much bad in the world? But if there's so much soap, why is there so much of the world that's dirty?
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
God is good. I mean, all the time, and all the time, God is good. So
Amen.
that's not going to change
No.
because of what else is going on around. I sometimes look at that in a way of, can you only imagine that God wasn't good? So if we're complaining about what we're seeing, and it is a lot going on, just only
Hmm.
imagine if there was nothing holding it all together. So it's like,
Exactly.
yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be like, oh my God. So, it's we do our best. That's like raising your kids. So if your parent was good, and why your kid bad? No, that's I'm doing
Okay, look
everything.
at Adam and Eve.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. Right.
God
That's the
was the
same. So
only parent ever around.
right, right,
And look
right.
what they did to us.
So there, so
You know?
so it's not that you didn't do your job. It's not that you're not putting out, instruction and this and that, but because of the will and the free will, and we can do,
Yes.
it sometimes don't work out like you would think it should be, because then we would just be robots. So we just be, doing, yeah, we'd be
Yeah.
again. Like we say, we need some of that friction. That makes us stronger.
That's right.
We need some friction, but at the same time, it does get, bothersome sometimes because
Hmm.
you want it just to be like, I'm doing everything right, and I'm still, having issues in that. But we need that. We need friction. That's what makes you grow. I used
Yes.
to be, let me see, Big Jack story time. I got all kinds of stories, but I used to be a power lifter. So I used to power lift. And to be a
Ooh.
power lifter, all right, there's two type of lifters. There's a bodybuilder who builds
Right.
for form, and the build for the, just not so much the mass, but the definition of the muscle. So they do
Mm.
a lot of reps, low weight. So they're
Hmm.
really not that super strong. Don't get me wrong, they're strong, but they're not really strong because a lot of it is just, I want to define the muscle.
Mm.
I want to make it, so when I get on stage and I pose, you can see every fiber of the muscle.
It's
So that's what they're
pretty.
doing. Right.
Yeah.
Now when you look at the world's strongest men, they're big guys, real big bellies and all. They like, well, how they, because
Yeah.
they're building for mass. So they're doing a lot of heavyweight, low
Yeah.
reps, and they're just building for bulk.
Mm.
So that's where it's like, so when you get into it, I used to be a bodybuilder, well, not bodybuilder, but a power lifter. So
Right.
I had to do a lot of heavy lifting for the bulk. So I needed to go up. I had to keep going up and keep pushing against myself because that's how I was going to win competitions and things like that. So we
Hmm.
need something to push against us. If it was
Hmm.
all just even and no push, nothing going against, then it'd be no victory. It'd be no,
And
you
you don't
just be,
grow.
you wouldn't grow. So it
Yeah.
has to be no different than a plant. It has to be pruned back to grow. So sometimes we need those things to be not right so that we can make things right. And it's like,
Yes.
so I need some not right so that I can make things right. So yeah, I know it sounds weird. It doesn't. It's really don't sound weird. It's just the fact that, we want everything to be, perfect all the time. But then you'd be bored out your mind if it was like that. You'd be bored out your
Yes,
mind
absolutely.
if it was no nothing, no restriction, no push. It would be boring. Can you imagine everything you did? I mean, it'd be nice for a day. Everything you did, it was one. You won. Think of
Yeah.
Midas. Let's talk about Midas.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Midas touch. Everything he touched turned to gold. That's great until you
Until
start
you
touching
touch
your
the wrong
friends.
thing.
Yeah, you touching your friends. You touching. Now, like you're hurting everything
Yep.
because it was good for a minute, but then it's not good anymore.
Mhm.
So you need to have some diversity. You need to have some ability. So my powerlifting days, that taught me that lesson that hey, you want to be bigger and stronger and win these competitions, then you got to
Mhm.
put more on when you're working out. You got to put more on when you're going to
Mhm.
the gym, and you're going to need something to push against you so that resistance is going to make you stronger, and
Right.
that's going to make you a better person. So, and that's where a lot of times we don't have anything to resist. Nobody's
Mhm.
resisting. So as a content creator, and we're talking, having again the iron sharpening iron, having that resistance, having that guest that's on the show that's going to bring a different perspective to something that
Yes.
I just didn't know, and
Yeah.
I didn't know because I was never exposed to it, and,
Right.
and and because of that, it's having someone who's been down that road, and then not only that, it's like a lot of the guests I've had. Yeah, they've been through some hard times, but they're all victorious. They came
Yes.
out of that thing. It's
Yep.
like, wow. I've had some that like I'm still struggling, but I've had some that's like I'm not struggling. So it's like, wow, with all that going on, and you still got a smile on your face, you still
Mhm.
this and that. So that tells a lot of people that's out there watching that, hey, I can smile. I can go through and still have a smile on my face.
That's right.
You don't have to know that I'm going through. You don't have to know all the stuff that I'm going through. Just know I tell people sometimes that I read the end of the story. So
Exactly.
yeah,
I know the end of the book. I
yeah,
know who wins,
I know who wins.
and
So
it's gonna suck hard before that.
yeah, and
So
that's right. So all this other stuff doesn't matter because
that's right.
I already know how it's going to end. So because I know we got the victory,
Yeah.
it's just now I just got to finish the race, no one said it was going to be easy. No one.
No. If
So
anything, they say it's gonna be harder.
it's going to be hard,
Like, if
right?
you
Yeah,
if you know the whole
yeah,
book, you know
yeah.
it's gonna be rough.
It's gonna have some time. So
Yep.
we're preparing ourselves, or you're in a position to witness to other people, to
Mhm.
to talk to other people, to
Mhm.
encourage them, to say, hey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. No matter what you're going through, it's going to be okay. So
Yeah.
that's what we're pushing on the show for sure. So
Excellent.
yeah,
Well, God has just opened up a lot of opportunities recently, and when I say recently, I mean like within this last week, to talk to people about the Bible itself,
mm,
and what's in it, what does it tell us about? These are people who were never raised on it, so I'm like, okay, look on my channel, look in the playlists, and you'll find the old Bible stories and the
mm,
New Testament Bible stories, and that kind of stuff. And since I've had, like I said, very recently, those confirmations that people need this, that's what got me back into researching and
right,
stuff.
right.
Just like, I mean, I'm a trained missionary. That's what I was trained
Mm,
in at college.
okay. Yeah.
And so I get that. And my love of culture really comes into that. And knowing that people's background will color how they look at certain things,
Mm,
right? So you have a person from Wicca looking at the Bible, they're going to see a whole lot of supernatural. They're going to see a whole lot of things that are going to look different for them than
mhm.
somebody who comes from your typical little white bread neighborhood. And
Mm,
when I say white bread, I mean like basic,
I got you. I understand
just
what you're saying.
okay.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I want to say hi to Mary Lynn. That's my mom. My mom says hi,
Okay.
Big Jack.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so she's mama.
Yeah. Hello.
And just knowing that these opportunities arise, like with
Mm,
iron sharpening iron, with your battle of the sexes, with your
right.
experiences throughout your life. If you hadn't had those experiences, good and bad, there's certain people you would never be able to reach out to.
No, no, no.
And that's, I mean, I've been through some crap.
Mm,
It's been really, really difficult
right,
a lot of times. And like you said, the pushing, the shoving, the growth through it, growing hurts. And so does surgery,
right.
right? Like you
Yeah.
said, you find something infected, you find a tumor, you find something that needs to go. It may be comfortable to just let it, like, leave it alone. It'll be
Mm,
fine. No, it will kill you.
right.
And surgery hurts.
Yes.
So knowing those types of things um, really also prepare a person who's been through some difficulties to learn how to then move past the difficulties.
Mm.
Because, like you said, you've been through a lot. You're still smiling,
Oh yeah,
right?
that's it. That's it.
And as a power lifter, I don't know if this is true. I heard this a while, years and years ago. My internet again. Uh, Sorry, my internet went wacko on me again. We just upgraded our internet.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
Anyway, but from what I've heard, in order to build muscle, you have to literally tear it down.
You tear
Does
the
that sound
fibers.
right?
You tear the
Yeah.
fibers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the muscles is built up of fibers. So yeah, that's what you're doing. You're tearing the fibers as you're working out. So the reps and all. So the fibers are being torn, and then when you're in your resting, that's when they heal. So that's where that pain come from, and that's what a lot
Mhm.
of people talk about, that no pain, no gain, because
Mhm.
there's need to be some pain. So if you're not receiving anything to show or let you know that you tore that fiber, then you didn't put enough on to cause strength. You know, it didn't say you didn't work out. It's just you're not going to be any stronger because you didn't give the muscle enough that it had to rip and all of those things. So, not that you're trying to tear a muscle, it's the fibers, the muscle fibers. So that is a
Right.
big difference. You don't want to put so much on that you're tearing, and that's what happens when people are faking it. I don't say fake it,
Mm.
when they don't go through the right process. So using
Mm.
steroids and things like that, you'll make that muscle bigger and it'll grow, but it's because it's not natural, it'll tear because now everything else didn't grow with it. The ligaments, the tendons, and all those other things that's holding the muscle together,
Yeah.
they're not going to grow. They don't grow. And then you end up ripping that stuff off because it's not able to hold the muscle package that you put in there. So, yeah. So that's one of the Big Jack story time stories. My muscle days. Back when I was a little bit younger, I was definitely strong. I had competitions and all that good stuff.
Oh, cool.
But it's all about like you said, your life experiences and the things that you've been through, and what did you receive? What was the lesson that out of this story? What happened
Mhm.
and why? Everything happens for a reason. And
Mhm.
you say, okay, what was the reason? You might not know it when you're going through it because I was young. I was definitely younger in a lot of the things I went through, and but
Mhm.
then now as I got older, especially I got kids and talking to my children and this and that, and it's like, oh shoot! Now I know why I went through that. Oh, now because a lot of things I did in my life, I did so, and this was my mindset. I'm going to do it so when I have kids, and they say they want to do it, I can say, "Hey, I did that." That
Don't
was
do
my mindset. That was my mindset. So
that.
look, when I was in college, I was a cheerleader. I was a cheerleader in college. I was a football
Cool.
player. I was a football player, but I was a male cheerleader. I was the mascot in college. I put the costume on and all that stuff. So any one of my kids came up to me and said, "Hey, I want to be." I'm like, I did that. There's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and be a cheerleader. You don't have to be on the field.
Nope.
You got to, give them the options to be whatever they want to be. So I
Mhm.
tried a lot of stuff, and that's why I probably, like I say, I use story time, but that's what it is. If you name it, I know I probably did it once or twice in my life. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Except I never been to jail, so I never been to jail. So that's a good thing, you know.
I've never been to jail either.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
gotten tickets, but,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
gotten
no.
tickets, but I've had guests that's been on my show that's been in
Yeah.
jail and been to prison and all of those things. And I'm like, but here's the funny thing. I was a correction officer. So I wasn't
Oh,
I wasn't an inmate, but I was in the jail. So I remember and I seen the story. So when they're telling me, I'm like, yeah, that's a
yep.
different life. That is,
So what I need to
so
do is I need to have you and Sam on at the same time. Do you know
oh, okay.
Sammy Yarborough,
No,
from No? Okay.
Mm-mm.
He's another friend of mine here on YouTube, and
Okay.
he was a felon,
Mm.
and he didn't get into drugs or anything until he was, like, 28 years old.
Right. Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, like, unusual, deeply unusual,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he has now come out of that, and like the 2 of us, he's been through some specific things that he can talk to the drug addict, the felon, all of these people who've been through those things and say, "You know what? There is another side to it,"
Right. Right.
you
Yeah.
know, and there is
Yeah.
growth, and
Yeah.
that's so important. I'd love to have the 2 of you come on and talk about the correction officer versus the, inmate version
Right.
of things. That might
Yeah.
be interesting.
It'd be a little toss to it. Like I say, my last three of my last four guests at one time had spent some time. So
Yeah.
and a lot of them they say they were when they were younger or you make because it doesn't we're all one ticket
Mhm.
away. You know, you have a ticket
Yeah.
and say he was doing too fast and they say he was reckless, they could actually take you in for that. So it's it depends on what the situation was and what happened. But
Mhm.
again, it's not a they're guests on my show, and I don't look at them like, oh, I can't have them. They've been in.
Oh,
No. Tell me about it. Tell me about that experience. Tell me how did you overcome?
mhm.
Because those are things that people might want to know. There's a people that might, someone in that's incarcerated right now might be looking at your show, and they're like, man, how did that person overcome? How did they get past this?
Yeah.
A lot of times we are, and I know a lot of inmates were, because I was an officer, but they were looking for something. They were looking for,
Mhm.
they needed some hope. When all hope is
Mhm.
gone, it's like, I need hope. And it's like,
Exactly.
and it's like, okay, this person proved to me that it can be done, that you
Yeah,
don't have to, this don't have to be, this doesn't have to be the end of the story.
for sure.
This is just one chapter that we're going to get through. And then when we get through this, we're going to write the next chapter. And
Mhm.
that's again what we try to do with the show.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of spin-offs from the Iron Sharpening Iron show. So I know you said
Oh,
the
that's
battle of the
wonderful.
sexes. So you got the battle of the sexes. So you was
Yep.
asking me what the busy thing that I have to do. So we have four different spin-offs from the show. So the show itself is the Iron Sharpening Iron every Wednesday, every Sunday.
Mhm.
But then the last Wednesday of the month is the battle of the sexes that you talked about. The
Mhm.
last Sunday of the month is the Gentleman's Journal. So I have five men on the stage, all men on the stage, and we discuss men topics. So that's the Gentleman's Journal.
Nice.
The last Saturday of the month is the We Be Jamming Live. So We Be Jamming is where we put all musical artists up on the stage. So we bring different musical guests up. We'll play their videos or whatever they have on YouTube, and we
Mhm.
promote them because they're putting a lot of work in, and
Oh, for
they're
sure.
and we want to make sure we promote them. And now, the first Wednesday in October will be the first time we did this one. And this is the latest spinoff we got is the Ladies' Diary. So on that one, it's going to be all women on the panel, and they're going to be discussing very similar to the Gentleman's Journal, but it's the Ladies' Diary. And I'm gonna come off the stage, and my
Boss
producer,
be
Boss B, is going to be the host. So again, it's
Oh,
not about me. It's not about me. The
right.
channel is not about me. So for me to take and give my platform up, in a sense, said Boss B can now step up and be the host. Is again, it's about the growth of the channel, growth of the growth of the community, and that is the latest spinoff. So those are the things that. I don't say keep me up, but you're constantly trying to,
It's what
get your
goes through your
viewership.
brain, right?
Yeah, yeah, all the time. You're always thinking, what can I do? What can I do? And
Yeah.
it could be a thumbnail. It could be the guests, because I know if you lining up guests, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough to get, especially when you're dealing with I do two shows a week, and you're trying to line these guests up. And the blessing is I'm booked through. We're booked into October, which is good. That's a good thing. So I
Nice.
mean, we're through October, but
Mhm.
the thing is vetting the guests and making sure that everybody you put on it. See, like you said, your mom was in the chat. My mom be in the chat. So
Mhm.
my show has to stay family friendly because my mom is in there. So yeah, so my mom is in there. So I'll be like, and a lot of times I say, I don't want to have to go to the family reunion and explain what happened on the show. So because of that,
Yeah.
I try to keep it as it's clean, but then
Yeah.
as you know, you want substance as well. So you know, we
Yes.
want it. You know, I want real product, but
Yeah.
it don't have to be dirty. It don't have to be nasty. It don't have to be confrontational and all of that. So
No,
we
exactly.
the last battle of the sexes we played Family Feud.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
So I had to put the game up there, the men versus the women. Had to so we just tried
Awesome.
different ways to get that you know, it's not so much friction, but it's at the same time we're just trying to show that we are very similar, but we're so much
Mhm.
different.
Mhm.
And this is a way to put that out there. So
Well, if you ever want a Canadian girl on, give me a shout. I'd
yeah.
be
No,
more than happy to join you.
oh yeah, no problem. Yeah.
You're a
Yeah,
lot of
no.
fun.
Yeah, you that's no problem. Like I say, it's the last Wednesday of the month, and then we are building right now. We're still building the panel for the ladies' diary. So
Yeah.
definitely, if you're open, I have no problem putting you on the stage.
Hey,
So
I'm
yeah,
open.
yeah.
Um,
Again, I'll be in the chat, so I'll be. It's gonna be tough to be back there not.
not going in there saying, "Excuse me."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll
Yeah.
be moderating. I'll be moderating then, like, nah, what are you saying now?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that my moderator and that's Boss B, and then, so my little thing with that, like everybody should have a B. She's better than Nightbot. So
Mhm.
and when she goes in there and clean up, but 1 week she was not there. One episode she wasn't there.
Whoops.
And we had to go in there and do what she was doing. We was all over the place. We couldn't find a link. So, so I had to tell her all the time how much I appreciate her because of the fact
Yeah.
that she does a lot of work back there. So like, dang, where's that link at? I can't find the link. I can't do nothing. Sorry, but she
Yeah,
takes care
I
of me.
do a lot of that myself simply
Mm,
because my community is still very, very small.
mhm,
And I would love to grow my channel so that it could pay for itself. You
mhm.
know, I want it to pay for the annual subscription to StreamYard. You know,
StreamYard,
like
yeah.
I don't have to make a living at it, but
Right.
it'd be nice if it could pay for itself.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but hands, heart, yellow, red hat, hands, yellow, heart, red, hands, yellow, heart, red. I have no idea what she's talking about, but that's okay
Mm.
because I am not a producer. I'm assuming that's a
Right.
producer thing.
I don't know. So
I don't know.
I can't see the chat, so I don't know what they're doing there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh no, I'm still working on trying to figure out why my computer is not doing what it's supposed to do. So
Oh,
I didn't want to miss out on any of the show. Once this is over today, I had to get to work and try to figure out what's going on. So,
okay.
but
There we go.
mhm.
It's a heart. Sorry, I forgot StreamYard doesn't allow YouTube emojis. Okay.
No, they
So now
don't.
you
Yeah.
can see the chat because I have it on screen.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's emojis. Got it.
yeah. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is so tell me a little bit about Little Jack. Where did you grow up? What was your growing up years like
I don't
as
know
a
if I
young
was
guy?
ever. I don't know if I was ever little.
You were born
I,
at 14 pounds,
and
18 ounces,
I
and
was I wasn't 14 pounds, but I was not that far off. So yeah,
okay.
like when I started playing football, I was 7 years old and I was already 85 pounds. So yeah, so
Woo!
you know there was not a lot of little, but um, I just grew up. I mean, I grew up like I say in Maryland, real close to the Washington D.C. area. So
Mhm,
that's what people call the DMV. So I was in that area.
mhm,
I had a regular life. I mean, I went to school. You know, I played sports, and that was my big thing was, you know, I was
mm,
athletic. That was the boys and girls clubs and all of those things. So I did that. When I got to high school, I was fortunate enough to get a full scholarship, so I got to go play in college and all like that.
nice.
Patience was something that I should have learned in all this time, but I didn't learn
Yeah.
patience. So when I was at my first college, I
Your first
transferred.
college. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
because I transferred to the second to another college. I went from a bigger school to a smaller school because
Mm,
I wasn't getting the playing time that I thought. So patience, that's what I
of
say. I'm
course,
not, you
yes.
know, you
Yeah.
put a lot of work in. You're big, you're strong, you're fast, and
Yeah.
your head is bigger than your body because you think you're all this. And
Mhm,
so I tell people a lot of times that, you know, when I was in high school, I was one of the top 50 players on the East Coast. So on
mhm.
the East Coast, I was one of the top 50 players. When I got to my college, I met the other 49. So all of them was the top 50 players on the East Coast. So yeah, so we, that's where they all at. So,
For
um,
sure.
but then when you're out there, and I had two All Americans in front of me, in my position, so I was like, okay, but I'm stronger than them, I'm faster than them, I'm this and that, and you're saying all these things to yourself, but you just need to wait your time.
Yeah.
It's just wait your time. If you just wait your time, you're gonna be okay. But it's like a lot of stuff now you see with, and this is back in, the '90s. But at that same time, like we see it now, no one wants to wait. They just want it instant. They don't want to build
Mhm.
that foundation.
Mhm.
Put your time in, put your work in, and like the guy in front of you put his work in.
Oh, yeah,
And so
exactly.
I ended up transferring to another school, a much smaller school,
Mm.
and when I got there, I found out what I really missed. I say the grass
Mm.
is not greener on the other side. So I got
Yeah.
over there and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. That was a big mistake that I made, but I've already made it. So now I got to live with it. And me and the coach on that team and a smaller team,
Mhm.
we got into a heated discussion
Uh-oh.
over practicing at 6 o'clock in the morning. So even if I'm a
Yeah.
colorblind, 6 o'clock in the morning is too early to do anything. But so 6 o'clock in the morning. So getting up to go to practice, it got to be about 5 o'clock. Walking from my house to the locker room. So
Oh, wow.
I didn't even know it was a such that the sky is purple. But
Oh,
before the
yeah.
sun come up, I didn't know that until I had to walk at 5 o'clock in the morning to get there. So it's like, so it is purple skies, okay. And I'm
Yep.
colorblind, and I can see the purple skies. So
Yeah.
but anyway, so one day it was cold outside. I'm up on the field. We're practicing early in the morning. I'm a running back, so I was a running back in college, and I'm running the ball. Someone hits my hand, smash it between the helmets or whatever, but
Oh,
it hurts, and
no.
it hurts so bad. But it hurt so bad, and I just went off. So I'm off now, and I'm upset because it's too early in the morning. My fingers are cold. It gets got smashed,
Oh, and
and
brittle.
now
Yep.
me and the coach is standing there, and he's talking to me, and I'm talking to him, and he already think I'm bigger than I should be. I'm who you talking? I'm the anyway, and I was like, if I want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'd join the army. And his comment was, then join the army. So I left the field, went right down to the ROTC in our college, and I joined the army. That's exactly how it worked. That's
Oh, my
exactly
goodness.
that
That was
is
a
exactly
choice.
that was it. That was exactly how it worked. So think about
Oh,
it.
wow.
I didn't think it, I didn't plan it, I just did it. And it's like, what the heck? So I left school and I joined the military. And it's
Okay.
like, okay, and that's how I got in. So that was my college years, got in the military, and I won a wonderful time in the military. So that's what I said, that, nothing just happens. God
Yep.
has a plan for your life.
Yep.
And when I got in the military, discipline is what I had to learn.
Mhm.
Now you have to learn discipline. But I
Mhm.
had a lot. I mean, I'm coming from college. I played, I was a motivator. I motivated people. In fact, I won a trophy when I was in school. In the military, I won a trophy for most motivated of all the people.
Nice.
So it's like you always, you do a lot of things and you don't realize all it's coming back, for a reason. But
Mhm.
but then I did my time, and I've been married twice, so married two times. My first we divorced, but when I did I'm in the military and I got orders to go to Korea. And I'm upset because I got orders to go to Korea. Not
Right.
because I got to go to Korea. It was because I wanted to go to Somalia. So
Oh, yeah, like, that's where everybody wanted to go. Or
Somalia was in
Rwanda.
conflict. Somalia was in conflict,
Yep.
and my whole unit was going there, but they said you're going to Korea, and I'm like, wait a minute, my whole unit is going to Somalia. Why am I going to Korea? That makes
Good
no. I don't.
question.
Now I'm upset again. I'm bothered because it's like, but again, nothing happens by chance. God has a blessing
Mhm.
for you. He has a purpose for you. So, all right, I'm going to Korea. All right, so I'm bothered because my whole unit is going to, and Korea is a solo tour, so you can't take your family. You got to go by yourself. So
Oh,
you don't get to
wow.
take your family. I'm married. I got children, but they got to stay back because it's a solo tour. My unit went to Somalia. I'm over in Korea. So, but when I got to Korea and I was already a Christian,
Mhm.
but I was, but the John 3:16 came to life to me when I was in Korea,
Mhm.
because of the fact when I got there, we went to a church called Yoido, and Yoido is the largest full gospel church in the world. It's in
Oh, wow.
South Korea. Yeah, so went to
Wow.
Yoido. The largest full gospel church in the world is in Korea. And when we got in there, and I'm watching and listening to the service, to the point when you get in there, they give you headphones because you're a foreigner.
Mhm.
So they have to translate everything that's being said to you.
Mhm.
And in America, we believe that everything is about America. It's like
Oh,
no.
I know.
And so
Yep.
then that's why I said John 3:16 came to life, because God said, I love the world. It ain't about you. It ain't about, Texas or Maryland or Virginia or United States. It's the whole world. And
Yep.
I was like, wow. And it came to life. So why I
Yeah.
didn't go to Somalia? Because I needed to learn that lesson. I needed to learn that God loved the whole world. And it changed how I looked at everything after that, because I'm like, yeah, God loves the world. It's not, we
Yep.
get caught up in thinking it's all about us. And
Yep.
and it's like it's way bigger than us. We're
For
babies
sure.
compared to a lot of things that's going on in the world, and a lot of countries that's in the world. We're babies,
Mhm.
and it's like God's been doing this for a long time, and because of that, and so now I got a year tour. So that's just imagine I went in January. After
Right.
6 months, you can go home on leave. You can go back there. You can fly back to the States
Okay.
and go home on leave. So because it's 6 months, you can go back for 30 days. So I go back home. I'm flying back from Korea in June, going back home. I get back to my house, and my family's there. They're happy to see me, da da da. Yeah. I look at the newspaper, and it's the Post, the military based newspaper, and there's a there's a picture of a Humvee that went over a landmine in Somalia. So it's like a unit 224. We was the 41st infantry, infantry division. But anyway, so
Mhm.
that Humvee rode over a landmine. The
Mhm.
driver is okay. The gunner is okay, and they showing you a picture of the Humvee, and the passenger seat is gone, completely gone. The one on them is gone.
Wow.
So the driver is okay. The gunner's okay, but the passenger seat, he's gone. That was my Humvee, and that was my seat. And God said, "Now you know why you didn't go to
Oh, yeah.
Somalia."
Oh, yeah.
God said, He asked me, He told me right there, "Now you know why you didn't go to Somalia." And I was like,
There's a
I stopped
purpose.
questioning. I stopped questioning. I stopped questioning God on why this and why that. It's like, you know what you're doing. You know
Yep.
what you're doing. So while I'm trying to figure it out, God had already worked it out. So so I stopped asking. I stopped questioning. I
Mhm.
stopped. You know what I'm saying? So with that is, it's like it doesn't just happen, and you got to
Mhm.
take the blessings when you go. Because what was your purpose for going? Well, I want to be in a conflict. I want to get a certain badge. I want to get a certain medal. And it's like
Mhm.
all of that stuff was selfish. And I'm
Mhm.
trying to give you a life lesson, and I did. I learned a lot
For
from just that
sure.
experience right there.
Wow.
So got out the military, did 1,000 things in my life, and now I'm, on YouTube. so, so yeah, so yeah, man, so many other things in there. If we went down, and you don't even have enough showtime to talk about all the stuff I've done. But, and I got on YouTube just to share that with you, so you know a little bit about me.
Yeah.
When I turned 50 years old, and I'm 54 now. So when I turned
Mhm.
50, so it didn't happen when I turned 50, but when I
Mhm.
turned 50 years old, my daughter-in-law, she gave me a book, and it was a book about me. And what I was supposed to do is just fill in the blanks, and it was for my grandkids.
That
So
okay, yep.
fill in this book about you, and now your grandkids can know about you.
There's not
And I'm
enough
filling,
space.
I'm here. I'm filling out the book, and I'm like, these kids don't want to read no book. They rather watch the video. And
Yeah.
that's how I came up with the mindset that let's put it all on video.
Oh.
So where Big Jack's story time came from was me just telling my stories of my time in the military, my time here, my times there,
Oh,
and they go.
wow.
But I love talking to people
Yep.
like what we're doing right now, and I love it.
Yep.
So I started with YouTube in October of 2024,
Right.
And the first Iron Sharpening Iron show wasn't until January of 2025
Mm. Mhm.
because I was still trying to, you're trying to find your niche. What is my
Oh,
niche?
yeah.
I had so many different things. I had like 5 different channels. I had a bowling channel and a golfing channel and a story time channel. And that's a lot of work having all these channels.
Gotta just bring
Yeah,
it
yeah.
in.
So it's like build playlists. That's what I tell anybody, build playlists.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, um, we're like, okay, you're telling your stories, but now I like talking to people. So let's do
Mhm.
interviews. So
Yeah.
when I first started, the first couple of episodes was go live with me. So it's go live with me with YouTube, and you can only have one person on the screen with you, and da da da. And then I'm like, well, I want more people on the stage. I want to have two
Mhm.
people and 3 people and 4 people. And that's how the
Mhm.
StreamYard. So I use StreamYard as well.
Yeah.
And that's how that came about because of the fact that I can put more people on the screen
Yeah.
and we can have real conversation and
Yep.
this and that. But so the first episode was with Nancy Green. I don't know if you know Nancy Green, but
I
she
know
was
the
my
name.
yeah, she was my first guest on Iron Sharpening Iron. And how that came about was we were both in a chat for someone else's show, and they was talking about you need to go live, you need to go live. And Nancy Green made the comment in the chat, she's afraid to go live. She's never been live. She's afraid to go live. So I said, look,
Oh,
Nancy, I'll go live with you.
do
Let's
it
go
together.
live, and let's go live. And that's how the first show came. And again,
Mhm.
the saying from the Iron Sharpening Iron, or the motto, we are stronger together.
Mhm.
So, and it was funny because that was on a Friday, and we have a Wednesday, Sunday show now. But that
Mhm.
was on a Friday that Nancy Green stepped out of her shell and got on live with me. And we didn't even have a title for the show at that time, and it wasn't
Right.
called Iron Sharpening Iron.
Right.
And so that next day, I'm at the bowling alley because I bowl. I love to bowl. I'm at the bowling alley, and my phone has an alert come up saying Nancy Green is live. She went live on her own the very next day. I'm like, "Oh, there you go." So it
That's
works. So
awesome. She got
so
the
that's
bug.
how. Huh?
She got the bug.
She got it. Yeah, 100%. So she's a super nice lady, wonderful story, and she will be on the panel for the ladies' diary. So she is going to be on the panel. So she's going to be so
Nice.
definitely good. So if we can get you on there, that would be wonderful. But
Hey, I'd love
uh,
to. I'd love
yeah, yeah,
to.
you're more than welcome. I know
Thank you.
if Boss B is still out there, she'll
She'll
yeah,
get my info.
yeah, she'll make sure we'll make sure we get you on there for sure. Yeah.
Mama asked a very good question. Was 6
Okay.
a.m. any better in the Army than it was in football?
Uh, uh, no. No, the difference was only reason I even said that was because the commercial. And we do more before 6 a.m. than most people do all day. So I'm like, I used that thing.
Right.
So that's where it
Okay.
came from. But no, it was not any better. Getting up at 6 a.m. in the military was just as bad as 6 a.m. In playing football. It was just one of those things where, uh, when you make a choice and you don't
Mm,
think about it, you don't plan, like, you didn't put any thought into this thing, you didn't talk to anybody, you just
yep.
went off of impulse, and now you have to live with the consequences. And when things
Mhm.
are just not going the way that you think they
Mhm.
should go, you make worse decisions. You
Absolutely.
make a worse decision to go with the bad decision. It's like if you so you need to stop and think, and it's like, okay, my best friends in the world, I got them to transfer with me. So I took people with me. I was like, but with that being said, I
Mhm.
wouldn't trade any of it. I wouldn't trade that
No.
time at college. I wouldn't trade my military time. I wouldn't trade any of it because it had a purpose in my life. It really
Yep.
did.
Yep.
It's one of those things where had I stayed in school and finished out my time, I might not have joined the military. I might not have
Right.
gone to Korea. I might not have got, so all of those things
Yep.
had a reason, it had a purpose. And I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't even change a thing because it
Mhm.
all worked out. It all worked out for the good. I'm going off the scripture with that because I do love
That's
the Lord,
okay. That's
and it's going to
sometimes that's
work
what you
out.
gotta do.
It's going to work out for the good. It's going to be
That's right.
okay.
Yeah.
And even though you have your valley moment. So my wife pointed this out to me. I'm gonna share this with you
Yep.
because I'm always saying I say my big thing now, my big push now is the valley experience. So we go through the valley, we go through the valley,
Yes.
and I said to get to the next mountaintop. This is me talking now. To get to the next mountaintop, you have to go through the valley. You have
Yeah.
to go through the valley to get to the next mountaintop. But then my wife pointed out something to me, and I have to respect her. I always respect her, but I'm respectful for what she said. What's wrong with the valley? See, we look at the valley as a bad thing. The valley is a good thing because the water is down in the valley, shelters in the
Mhm.
valley. Yeah,
Mhm.
if it was a high winds and all, the valley will give you some protection. So it's not always bad to be down in the valley. If you look at a lot of the greenery is in the valley, the food in the valley. You get to the mountaintop, the air's thin. There's nothing up there. There's no, other than the accomplishment of getting there,
Yeah.
but then it's just to get back down into the valley. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's really not, don't look at it as always a bad thing. Look at it
No.
like, oh, I'm in the valley. No, but it's okay because even in the scriptures, when they talked about the valley, it's like
Mhm.
God was with me. The protection was there.
Yeah.
The food, the shelter, everything was there, even
Mhm.
though I was walking through the valley. So it's like, it's not a bad place to be.
But it's the valley of the shadow of death, not the valley
That's
of
right.
death,
That's right. There you
you
go. The
know?
valley of the shadow of death. That's
And
right.
that's yeah, you have to look at where in the valley you are, who's protecting you,
Mm,
what, like you said, the sustenance. And for years, I've said that the exact same thing. The
mm.
mountaintop is delightful, except the shrubs are only this big.
That's
There
right.
are no trees.
That's right.
It's snowy. Well, the
No,
Canadian
sometimes,
Rockies.
sometimes. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Like
yeah.
I think of the Canadian Rockies, and they're huge, magnificent, amazing, but they're not productive,
Mm. No,
you
I
know?
mean we go to Colorado for vacationing. We
Yeah.
vacation normally in July, so it's
Yep.
July. We're up there on the top of the mountain in Colorado making snowballs, and I'm like,
That's
this is
right.
not there's nothing natural about this. We should be making snowballs in July, but it's but
We've
at the
done that.
same time, yeah. But at the same time, you're right, and you say you're up there, and
Yeah.
we go up. We was up to Pikes Peak where the thing is like, do you have oxygen? Because the air is thick. It's so thin up there and
Oh,
thick, and
yeah.
you can't breathe. You can't this, and it's like it's not that bad to be at the bottom of the hill,
That's
and
right.
so if you're in that time, but to get to the next mountaintop, you do have to go through the valley. But my big thing now is that we have to keep moving. We have
Mhm.
to keep moving. It's the stopping and just sitting there. Still water. I don't care how many times. Still water is dead. So if their life
Mhm.
lives in still, so as long as we got movement and the ripples and we're
Mhm.
moving, we're going to be okay. And that's where,
Mhm.
like, I know you made the comment about your community and the growing, but everyone that comes in, everyone that shows up, everyone that that's a blessing. That's one person. That's
That's
one
right.
more person. And I'm that person. That's what I say. My team got to talk me off the ledge because I'll have 2,000 subscribers, and then it says 199 or 1,999. And I'll be like, what happened to that one? I'm looking for him. Like
Hey,
stop.
I have 319, and I'm
Yeah.
happy for all of them.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that's what I have to get to because again, it's good to have certain numbers, but it's like, okay, what's the purpose of the show? What's the purpose of
Yes.
your channel?
Yeah.
And for in the beginning, and we do compete a lot against each
Mm.
other without
Mhm.
competing. You don't want to compete, but we do. It's like I'm not in competition with anybody. I want everybody
No.
to grow. But
Yes.
if I see you get 4,000, I'm like, what did they do to get the 4,000?
Yeah,
But at the
exactly.
same time, it's like whatever they did, they got it, and I'm cheering for you. I want you to get
Well, thank you.
100,000. I want to see all the plaques on the back wall and all that, because you
No,
should,
I'm happy with my paintings,
yeah, yeah, your paintings.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But no,
Um,
but with all that, it's life. It's life. I enjoy what we do. I don't want to take your show. I can talk. I apologize.
oh, no,
Yeah,
please.
yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
have people on because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
boring. So,
No, no,
this
no,
is
no.
but when I talk about the valley, when I talk about how life has its ups and downs and all of that, um, take a look at this painting.
Mm,
What colors do you see in the painting? And when I say what colors, I mean, is it all one color? Is it all light? Is it all dark?
mm.
Right?
No, no, it's not. Uh,
It's a beautiful painting because
yeah,
so much of it is
so
dark,
much. Right. No,
right?
I got you.
And that's where I take a look at this particular painting is from the hospital room where my dad died,
Mm,
and he had Alzheimer's,
mm,
and he died with Alzheimer's, but not of Alzheimer's.
got you.
And for the last 3 weeks of his life, he had a very bad virus of some sort, and they took him off all of his medication
Mm,
just to see what they could put back
right.
that was okay. So they took him off all his medication. His mind came back to us.
Oh, wow.
God blessed us so deeply in those last 3 weeks of his life. Everybody was able to say exactly what they need to hear, exactly what we
Mm,
needed to hear.
mm,
Like it was such a blessing. So when
right.
I look at that picture, I don't see just where he died. I see that God blessed us. When
Mm,
I say a celebration of life, this man's funeral was a celebration of
right.
life. Like
That's,
it's just not something you see every day.
wow.
So, yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty awesome. Yeah. Not often that you get to hear that somebody came back with Alzheimer's.
That is true. That is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so true because I don't know a lot about it. I've only heard, and
Mhm.
but the fact that you don't hear someone came back, and that's what you don't.
I've heard I've never heard anybody come back the way he did.
Mm,
But I've heard some people will kind of fluctuate a little bit in their progress, right?
right.
There's going to be ups and downs and such. So yeah, that was just an amazing testament of God's miraculous. This is exactly what we needed, kind of thing,
Mm,
right?
right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty awesome.
No, it's good. And not. Well, you have to. Yeah, like I say, I have a different look on all of that because I celebrate the life. I don't.
Same.
Yeah, celebrate the life, and
Yeah.
because we all know that's part of the book too. We're all going to
Mhm.
we're all going to go.
That's right.
So it's like, and no one knows the hour, and because you don't know the hour, you're going to go. When that person goes, it's not like well, it was too soon or that. It's the perfect timing. It's the timing that God had already set aside for that person, and
Exactly.
because of
Look
that,
at Psalm 119. Or
yeah,
not
right,
119, 139, sorry.
correct, correct.
Hi, Echo. Nice to see you here.
Oh, there she
Echo
go.
brought us together, and
Yeah,
here she
yeah,
is.
yeah. There she go. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's
So
always
yeah,
good to
Psalm
see her.
139 is by far my favorite portion of scripture.
Mm,
Just the whole thing of how much God thinks about a human, how much God loves that person. Like, and it's not, it talks about me, how much he loves me, but it's also talking about the derelict in the street, also talking about the inmate in a prison. He thinks about these people more than the numbers of grains of sand on earth, not even
right.
in the Mojave Desert,
Oh, yeah. Yes.
on
On Earth.
earth,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
just I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just it's incredible. It's
Right.
incredible. And you're right. God knows the number of days we're going to have before time was even
Yeah. Yeah.
invented.
That's right. That's right.
So, yep.
And so the take advantage of the time that you had and to pick something out of it, not so much the negative, but
Mhm.
the positives to it, and that's what you take with you. That's what you go with.
Yep.
And I talk about it, even ministering about it, and then other people have probably said something similar. But when you're born, they already can build your tombstone when you're born. So
That's right.
they can put your name on it. They got a date, and then they put a dash, and all they're waiting for is the end.
That's
So
right.
and really, it's just what's in your dash. What is in
Are
your
you
dash?
familiar with a music artist named Crowder? Used to be the David Crowder Band.
No,
Um,
no, sorry.
okay. So I don't know what styles of music you enjoy. I like so many.
Yeah.
But he does everything from bluegrass to rock to like he doesn't do hip hop, but he does like all sorts of in between everything, worship
Mm,
songs to stuff you could dance to.
gotcha.
Anyway, he has a new song out called Dash, and
Mm,
that's exactly what it's about.
right,
It's like,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a first and there's an end, but what's
What's in
important
your
is this
dash?
dash.
What's in your dash?
Yep.
When because and the good thing about that, it doesn't matter how long or how short the dash is the same size.
Mhm.
Your dash is the same size as my dash. They didn't have a long dash and a short dash. It's just a dash.
Wow,
And
yeah.
that dash of time that you had, is one day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like one day. And that dash of
Absolutely.
time, what did you do with it? And that's where we all have to start thinking about what are we doing with our
Mhm.
dash. And being a content creator, that's one of my things now. And I can say, hey, I'm out here, not that we're trying to do something with your dash, but I'm meeting new people. We're building a product, we're building a brand,
Mhm.
and we want it to be productive. We want it to mean something. We want
Yeah.
as I heard one of my team say the other day, that my grandchildren can run this show. If Google's around in
Absolutely.
20 years and 30 years, and they don't have to be that long, because I already got grandkids, so it could
Yeah,
be
I don't.
yeah, yeah, I do. I got three and one be here in December. So, but with the
Okay.
with the kids, the technology and how smart the kids are,
Oh,
they could be
yeah.
behind the scene. They already can operate the
Yep.
devices, so they could
Yep.
be behind the scenes at 7, 8 years old. They don't have to wait till and that's something that we now have to offer that you
Boss,
might
be
not have had.
out of a job as soon as your grandchild goes to kindergarten.
Oh
Just
yeah,
saying.
pretty much. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you think about it when you working with your iPhone or tablet or whatever, and you can't figure it
Mhm.
out, give it to a kid. They'll get it for you. They'll give it to, yeah, fix this thing for me. You're like, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I still have to go to my girls. My children are, almost 25 and 26 years old, so they're
Okay,
just over a year apart in
right,
age.
right. No, there's nothing
And
wrong with it.
I've been told not to expect grandchildren.
Mm,
I'm the kind of we had a hard time getting pregnant with our first,
mm,
and I got so sick of hearing people say, "So when are you having a baby? When are you having a baby?" I will never ask that.
right,
I
right,
just
right.
won't. I may ask, "Are you still thinking of having children, or are you still thinking you won't?"
Mm,
That's different
right,
than,
right.
"Give me a
Yeah,
grandkid." But you're right, the world these kids grow up in,
mm.
wow, it's a different world,
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
But people are still people. They still need structure. They still need, um oh, Echo says her daughter's 28 and her granddaughter's 4. Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's
And
just
she's already on
amazing.
the stage.
That's
She's
right.
already on the stage. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I've seen Echo do different shows, and she talked about what her granddaughter's doing. So
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely. Yes. Well, my friend, I will have to have you come back and we will talk about some specific stories of Big Jack story time. And like you said, you've lived a fascinating life. I would love to learn more about it. Um, Perhaps a little bit about your spiritual journey, perhaps a bit about your emotional journey, your family journey. Like you said, you've been married twice now.
mm,
Like there's my mom has been married 3 times, and it is the first one, not a great husband. Second
mm,
one, fantastic husband
mm,
who died.
mm,
Third one, great guy. Love
mm,
him to no end. So God has blessed her so much, and God has blessed our family through the lessons that I've been able to learn
right,
through the good and the bad in watching my mom grow.
mm,
And just I'm so grateful for the heritage that she has given me. So I'd love to hear more about you, your family, your heritage, and
mm.
that sort of thing. So
Well, I mean, again, and I know it's gonna be another show, but I'm
mhm.
open book. I don't have no problem sharing. I mean, it's story time, so I'll have no problem sharing stories. The big
Yeah,
thing
I'm
is,
I'm
like
an
I say,
oversharer.
my mom she be in the chat, and I've had my mom on the stage as a guest. So,
Mhm.
and I learned some things while she was on the show as a guest, because I was like, wow, I didn't
Ah,
even know that. I didn't even know that, So I'm asking her questions, she's giving me answers, and I'm like, all these years, I always thought it was something else. I thought it was a different this and that. And when she pointed it out, I was like, wow, I didn't know that. So we
yep,
can always learn from even the people that you think and people you see all the time,
yep.
because we assume a lot, and
Oh,
it's
do we
not
ever?
until you get it. Yeah. So I am more than willing to come back whenever you would need me back on on your show, on your stage.
Fantastic.
Hopefully, I'll have my. Well, I'm good. We had a good conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I am open, but it's so much. I mean, I would love to share the journey into the ministry and the calling and all of that, because to me that was fascinating in itself too, how that happened.
Are you
So
still a pastor?
no, 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 no.
Okay.
So you know what? And if we got a little bit of time, I'll share that right
We
there.
sure do. We have as
So
much as you need.
I was pastoring, and I had a church, small church, nice
Mhm,
size congregation, small church. And when I went through my divorce, my first marriage, and went through
mm,
divorce,
mhm.
that's what it didn't take away my faith. It didn't take away my love for God. It didn't take away my Christianity. But I felt like I failed God. I
Yep.
failed, and it pulled me off of the pulpit
Mm,
because I wasn't. I've ministered to multiple people and saved marriages and talked to people about their marriage,
mhm.
and I couldn't do my own. And it took me, that was the big thing right there. And that's when I stepped away. So now I minister when I get invited. I'm the family's officiant when someone passed. So I do everybody's funeral. So I tell my
They're
family,
just
y'all got to
dying to
stop.
see you.
Yeah, y'all got to stop passing because I'm tired of doing. I'm funeraled out. I don't want to do any more funerals. But
Yeah,
with that being said, that was my big thing of stepping away
right.
from being because I looked at it. How can I lead others when I wasn't able? And God has worked on me. He really has, and
Good,
I've definitely gotten over that. But
good.
that was the reason. But now it's just
Mm.
now it's just you don't need a church to be a pastor, and that's
That's
where
exactly what I was just gonna say, yes.
yeah, one
You're
hundred
a
percent,
pastoral
yeah,
person,
yeah,
you don't have to have the pulpit
no,
to
no,
be pastoral,
yeah.
right?
I have my services no different than a church. I do Bible study on Wednesday and church on Sunday. My shows are Sunday and Wednesday.
There
So
you
I
go.
keep that same thing and we minister every time I get up there. I have I
Fantastic.
have thousands and thousands of members all over the world,
Yep.
and we actually have real conversation, and
Yes.
they're life changing, life altering,
Yep.
faith building relation messages. So no, do I actually sit in the church and call myself pastor? No. Am I still ministering the word
Right.
when I get a chance? Yes.
Right.
And when I have a conversation, I'm witnessing all the time. I want people
Mhm.
to do the right thing. Do
Mhm.
the right thing, be right with God, be right with yourself, be right with your family.
Mhm.
So that's why all those spinoffs. Men need men, women need women, men and women need each other. So that's what
Mhm.
all those spinoffs from the show is for, because we are stronger together. So we
Mhm.
stop dividing and get together, we'll be much stronger. So that's the whole thing. That's
Yeah,
it.
and this is something that my mom taught me my whole life is not why me, it's why not me,
Yep.
and what can I learn from it?
Yeah.
And so there's no victory for anyone in divorce, but the experience will minister to others,
Yep.
even
Yep.
when you don't feel worthy,
Yeah. And the
you
thing
know?
is, and what I had to learn for me
Yep.
was, what part did you hold in this? Because it's easy to say that person, that person, that person, but it's like,
Yeah.
what part did I hold in this? And it don't, even if you can, 10 people can tell you, no, you didn't do anything wrong, da 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 da. But it's like, what part did I hold in this?
Yeah.
How did it get this far? Because
Yes.
you should have cut your tie. You could have cut your ties a long time ago, and you
Yep.
didn't. So sometimes you just got to look at what part you had in the whole situation, because it
Right.
does take two to tangle. It does, so and sometimes that was the thing. So a lot of people have this mindset that I'm gonna do it for the kids. You
Oh,
cannot,
no,
you
don't do that.
cannot. That is one of the worst things you could do.
I
Don't stay
know.
together in a bad relationship for the kids, because
Yeah,
now the kids are learning a bad relationship. So
is
don't
what you do.
like don't
Yeah,
do that.
no.
So those are the things that you have to learn. But when you're young, I mean, I was 23 when I got married the first time,
Yep.
and you don't know nothing. You think you know everything, but you know nothing, and you're learning, and it's like,
Mhm.
okay. But I was married for 15 years the first time,
There
so
you
it's like,
go.
yeah, it wasn't like it. And like I tell people all the time, it wasn't all bad. Every day wasn't bad,
No.
but there was some times, and this writing
Yeah.
was on the wall, the signs were there, And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, be neat. But anyway,
I got married when I was 23 as well.
yeah,
And we've been married now for 30 years.
congratulations.
And we've been together for 35.
Mm,
And it's not because things are perfect, it's because we're both very stubborn.
right. Well, there you
And
go.
stubborn in the right ways.
Yeah.
Stubborn in the right ways.
Well,
I had to learn, like many women do, that there's a reason that God put one person as the head of the home
mm.
and not two people as the head of the home. And 23 is the magic number. That's right. Echo was 23 years old as well. Um, but yeah, and that's a whole nother discussion we can have. Let's talk about
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Well, and that's why we do the battle of the sexes, because we
yeah.
can have that discussion just like we're just talking now. We put them on the except on the battle of the sexes. I'm not in the panel. I'm the
Hmm.
referee. So if you ever see it, I put on my referee shirt and I sit in the middle and I ref it. So, but those are real topics and those are real things
Yes,
to discuss because
yes,
one, if you've been through it, you can help somebody who may be going through it. And then
absolutely.
someone who might be planning on getting married, you can help them like, okay, these are the things
Yes.
I need to look for. And
Yep.
it's not all bad. It's just the fact that there's going to be times, and you're going to have a person that's going to disagree. You're going to have a person that
Hmm.
we're not going to always agree. So
Nope.
with like me and my wife now, we agree to disagree. We're not going to
Totally.
always see eye to eye. So we agree that
Yeah.
we're not going to see eye to eye. Okay, well, once you get that accomplished, then when you're not seeing eye to eye, like we already knew this, so now let's move on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
You have to agree on the right things,
mhm,
right? And disagree on the little things,
yeah,
and for me, I think the biggest reason that Doug and I've been together for so long is, oh, hey, Peyton, nice to see you,
mhm,
is to show each other grace in the
mhm,
times when we don't agree.
right,
Because we could feel just as passionately one side and the other. It's like, "Mm." And a lot of really bad fights can happen and do happen in a
mm,
lot of marriages. But
mm,
we're like, you know what, sweetie? I'm going to trust that you believe this, and
right,
just show grace because that's
yeah,
what God's done for us.
yeah, yeah.
Certainly can't
And
hold that back.
the big thing is a lot of men. I'm talking as a man on this one.
Hmm.
A lot of men want a woman who can be independent.
Hmm.
They don't want. I mean, yes, I understand the submissive and this and that, but they want that independent. They want
Hmm.
it, and a lot of women are okay with being independent,
Yep.
but then becomes the part where it's like knowing your I would say know your role, but it's like they still have to, like you say, who's not so much the head, like I'm the head, I gotta bang on the table on the head.
No,
It's
no.
just there's a position. We know there's a position.
Yeah.
And because of that, doesn't say that you're any less
No.
valuable to the situation. I mean, I'm gonna go right here and we're gonna have to because we could talk forever on this. I really
Oh,
could.
we could. I
But
love it.
when you set up the chessboard, and we know the two key players on the chessboard is the king and the queen.
Hmm.
But the king can only move one space at a time.
Hmm.
The queen can go everywhere on that board. That is so powerful. It's just she's amazing. It's like why you're not the one we're trying to capture, but it's like
That's right.
the way the game is set up, we're trying to capture the king.
Yeah.
That's the end of the game. But
Yeah.
that having a person that can move all over the board and do all the things that they can do, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
recognize that. So yeah, I go to work, and my wife like I'll go to work too. Yes, but I see her do so many other things. I'm like I'd lose my mind if I had to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I recognize that. But then she recognizes that when I'm home, she feels much safer. When I'm home,
Hmm.
she feels, that comfort. I can, I'm not worried. And, if I'm not home, all the doors are locked, every window's locked, this is locked, da, da, da. But
Hmm.
when I'm home, it's like, did you set the alarm? Yeah, yeah, I got it. It's because I
Yeah.
feel,
Whatever.
so it's just a
Yep.
different, we bring different things to the table
Oh,
and
yeah.
we make each other feel, but my thing is because of the independence, and I know my wife is able to do it, I'm
Hmm.
not as afraid that
Right.
she's not going to be able to make it if I wasn't around.
Right.
That doesn't. I know she will be able to,
Yeah.
and that's where So it's just different. It's just weird how people think. So
Yeah. Well, 8 weeks ago or so, I broke my right foot in three
mm.
places.
Oh wow, sorry to hear that.
And yeah, I'm slowly getting back to walking around.
Mm,
But my husband's like, I never knew how much you did until you didn't do it. And he's like, now I have to do it all. It's like, really, and so Echo's right. That mutual respect of, you know what? When my one daughter was in grade 1, uh, my husband and I had a disagreement over a result of one of her actions.
Mm,
And she's like, Mom, tell daddy what to do. I said, but honey, dad's the head of the home. No, he's not. Yeah, he is.
mm,
And I'm like, okay, I don't want to have to be responsible for paying the mortgage. I don't want to have to be responsible for, and I listed like 5 or 6 things that as the head of the home, he's responsible for.
mm,
And I said, but your dad isn't responsible for things that I'm responsible for.
mm.
So it works together. It's not
Right,
an either or. It's a
right.
you and,
Yes.
right? And that's what
Yep.
the whole helpmate thing is.
Yeah,
So
100%.
yeah.
100%. So yeah. So we'll get I know that's not what the show is about, but we'll get you on Iron Sharpening Iron, one of our spin-offs, and get you out there, because this has been, I mean, really, it's been I've had a good time talking with you.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
here. This
yeah.
is
Yeah.
great.
So
I'll definitely
and
have to have you back, and we'll talk specifically. Well, first of all, we're going to have to learn about your armed forces. We're going to have to learn anyway. There's so many aspects.
okay, yeah, it's a
Um,
lot. It's a
but when
lot.
it
So
comes to discussing spirituality and marriage and those types of things, I am passionate about those things.
yeah.
So, yeah.
No,
Thank
and like I say, I'm open because I know someone out there is, one of my biggest issues back then was I
Mhm.
didn't have anybody to talk to. There was no one
Mhm.
else that had been through that, no one else. So now I can actually, share that experience and say, hey,
Mhm.
because I didn't, that's like you see a lot of going to college. I wasn't in my generation and my mom of her
Mhm.
kids, I was the first one to go to college and this and that.
Mhm.
So there was no one to talk to when I said I'm a transfer. There was no
Right.
one to say, don't do that. No, what are
Yeah.
you thinking about?
Yeah.
And because of that, you're doing it on your own. So a lot
Right.
of times when you're young and you're married, even though I say 15 years, so I've been married for 30 something years total.
Yeah.
So, so with all of that being said, it's just the fact that, you this time has been way better. I won't say way better. It's been much better than the first time. But I got two wonderful boys out of my first marriage, and I
That's
would
right.
never trade them for anything in the world. So it,
Exactly.
it all works out. So it all works.
Yeah. Well, that's how I think my mom sees her first marriage. She got 2
Mm,
amazing kids
mm.
and a lot of life experience.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And the second husband, like I said, he wonderful, faithful, integrity, all of these things that are just what you want out of a
Mm,
spouse.
mm,
And the third one is kind, respectful, um, romantic, like all of
mm.
these things that God has just been able to bless her with. And I can look at the 3 marriages and I can say, okay, these are the lessons I can learn from each of them.
Each one.
Right. And in different seasons of life and everything. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's a whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
it's a
yeah,
lesson. It's a lesson.
it is.
But it
It
sounds
is.
like you got a wonderful mom. I know she's still out there in the chat. So
Yeah,
thanks,
she's
mom,
pretty
for
awesome.
watching. Thanks, thanks, moms, for watching. And
Yes.
and I thank you, Kim, for allowing me to be up on your stage and
Thank
share
you
this
for
time with
coming.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So
really appreciate your openness and your ability to um, engage
uh,
so nicely. Thank you so
uh,
much for
no,
coming.
no, you're more than welcome. And again, it's difficult on this end of the screen,
Yep.
but I had a good time. So I really did have
Awesome.
a good time. Hopefully, I'll say we'll not. Hopefully, I know we are. I'll send you the invite
Oh,
and
yeah.
get you up on our stage for one of our upcoming spin-off shows. Most likely, it'll be that first Wednesday one in October, because I
Sounds
think you
good.
you would enjoy yourself up on the stage for the
Oh, yeah.
the ladies' diary. So it'll be the first one. We've never had one, so it'll
There
be
you
the first
go.
episode. First episode of the ladies' diary. So we'll have you
Perfect.
up there. All right.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you to the chat for coming, engaging, just making this so much better. It's
Mm.
always so much more fun when you have people who can talk.
Oh yeah.
So, have an awesome evening, folks. I love you all, and I will see you for sure in a week.
Mm,
But I am, like I said, I'm doing some studying up
mm,
on parables and so on and so forth. So I'm probably going to have a little bit more content as well. So yes, have an
All right.
awesome day,
See
and I'll
y'all
talk
later.
to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Some come with scars, some come with dreams. In this circle, we're more than what we seem. No judgment here, just voices to be heard. Through laughter, through the tears, we find every word. I'm my brother's keeper, I'm my sister's guide. Standing here together, with nothing left to hide. We lift each other up when the world feels torn apart. We're keepers of the flame, we're the healers of the heart.